Hello, I'm Austin Wilson, Research Analyst at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management.
And I'm Josh Robb, Director of Wealth Management at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. Today we are going to be looking back, not just last month, but last quarter, and see how the markets and the economy did, as well as some other facts.
Those are my favorite parts, by the way. So, yes, we're going to be focusing primarily on looking back at the third quarter, as we just finished the third quarter sitting here in October. So, are you buckled up?
I'm ready to go.
Because there's some news.
It was it.
All right, the S&P 500, it dropped.
Yep.
It was down 4.88% for the quarter, making year-to-date totals through the end of September down 23.87%. That's definitely a bear market.
That was down.
Developed international markets fell 9.36% for the quarter and 27.09% year-to-date. Emerging market stocks dropped 11.57% for the quarter, down 27.16% year-to-date. So a rough quarter for stocks and a rough year for stocks thus far.
Yep. So I'm going to look at, like I like to do, there's holidays. Every day has a holiday.
Every day.
Every day there's something. So there's some October holidays to look forward to. International Skeptics Day, and that's October 13th.
I'm not sure. I'm skeptical on that one.
I don't know if it's actually there, but the concept being is just don't take everything for the truth. You gotta question it sometimes.
International Conspiracy Theorist Day. Kind of the same
probably the same thing. But that's a good day to question things.
Yeah. Is that really okay. I'm just going to take your word for it, Josh. Number 2, foreign stock market returns. So we noted that emerging market stocks and developed international stocks were both down more than the U.S. Foreign stock market returns were negatively impacted by a sharply appreciating U.S. dollar. So meaning the dollar has become more valuable compared to the other currencies in the rest of the world. So the other currencies, the dollar can buy more of the other currencies, is essentially what that means in terms of exchange rates. So the U.S. dollar index, which is the U.S. dollar compared to another basket of global currencies, it was up 7.1% for the quarter.
Wow.
Bringing year-to-date gains of 17.3%, which is a 20-year high for dollar strength relative to other currencies, which is a headwind for foreign equity returns because of how you translate those earnings and revenue to U.S. dollars, making those look like less.
Okay. Now, there's actually a weekend holiday, so not just one day, but in Cape May, New Jersey, they celebrate Sherlock Holmes. They have a whole weekend, which is pretty cool.
Like the TV show or
the book originally, but I'm sure they highlight all that. They do a couple cool things. They have original stories that people have written with the character, and they read them or reenact them. They have like murder mysteries, things like that all weekend. By the way, Sherlock Holmes was asked what his favorite grade in school was. And he responded, elementary, my dear Watson.
That's funny. So, on that note, I will say the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes from, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe, the best.
It's good series.
Ever.
Yeah, good series.
So good. So, it was on the BBC. I don't know where you can even watch it now, but it was fantastic. Sherlock Holmes weekend. That's good.
Be fun.
All right, number 3. You thought you had a place to hide.
Yep.
You thought
stocks are down.
So my bonds are doing good, right? Wrong. And that's been the case for a while.
All year.
But bonds did not avoid the Q3 carnage. The 10-year U.S. Treasury hit a decade-high yield of 3.97%. So that means bonds selling.
Yes.
When yields go up.
Yields up, bond prices down.
Causing the U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, which is a basket of U.S. bonds, investment-grade bonds, to drop 4.75%. And that's a lot for bonds, by the way.
Yes.
This puts the safe haven, which is what people view bonds as, the aggregate bond index, down 14.61% for the year.
Wow.
That's a lot. There were areas that did a little bit better. So high yield bonds dropped 0.69%. Floating rate loans actually gained 1.37% because their rates float up as interest rates float up. And for year-to-date, floating rate loans have been one of the best performers. They're down only 3.25%.
And that's
still down, but
3.25 is like a bad year for bonds in general. And now we're talking 14.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
all right.
Rough year for bonds.
One of my favorite holidays, October 23rd. Well, that's one, but this is it. National Croc Day.
There's only one way to croc.
This is it. They're the best shoe ever invented, in my opinion.
You know, Josh, I I heard you singing their praises for years.
I have been.
And then
You tried some?
and I was skeptical. I was like a national skeptic day.
You were skeptical about that on the 13th.
And my wife and I were on a date night one day a year or so ago, and we decided to try our hand at what a Croc would mean for us. Mm-hmm. Put our feet in them.
Yeah.
We bought them on the spot.
Yeah.
They're pretty incredible, versatile shoes.
Yes.
They look like Croc, but
Well, that's why they were named, because they look like the nose of a crocodile. But they were invented in 2002.
Okay.
Originally as boat shoes. They were sold at a boat show.
Okay.
And
I can see
sold
that.
a ton there, and it's since gone from there. Very popular in the medical industry because of the comfort of them wearing all day.
Yeah. They do
all
wear
different
out.
versions. They do over time. Now, I've had a pair of Crocs for, I'm going to say, at least 11 years. So they last for a while.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I will say that's a good business model because Crocs, like name brand Crocs, are like $50,
Yep.
55, $60, something like that, and it's foam. Like
It's a special.
It is a special foam, but like
They actually have a
as far as the manufacturing process,
Yeah, it's just a foam mold.
you have a gigantic vat of foam that costs you nothing,
Yep.
and you fill it into little molds,
Yep.
and you're done. And like, so cost is not. It's great business.
It's an awesome business.
So
Insulated Crocs.
My wife has insulated
Croc golf shoes.
Croc shoes.
Croc golf shoes.
Do you have some of those?
I do, but they're not.
Really?
They're not foam. They're
You didn't
they're
wear them
sandals.
when we went golfing.
They're sandals. They're open sandals.
Okay.
They're just the brand sells them.
That's so funny.
They have heeled ones now for the
Okay.
ladies. So they're expanding. It's pretty good.
It's hilarious. I did not know how involved the Croc world was.
You're missing out.
Do they have white New Balance ones?
They have white ones for sure. They even have insulated ones, which I have a pair in the winter. Warmest shoes I own, by the way. They're great.
So one favorable part of the economy continues to be
Crocs.
The Croc economy.
Yeah.
No, it's actually the jobs market. The jobs market continues to be very favorable. We recently got an unemployment rate reading back down to 3.5%, which is near historical lows. So really good news there. Job openings, on the other hand, have come down a little bit. They actually dropped 1 million in the most recent reading from about 11 million to about 10 million. Now that still vastly exceeds the number of people looking for jobs, which
double.
is putting, by a ton, which is putting upward pressure on wages, which is one of the things that's fueling inflation right now.
Yep. All right. This is going to be a debate, Austin.
I'm ready.
October 30th,
Yep.
National Candy Corn Day.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on candy corn, Austin?
I don't eat it.
Yeah. You don't like them?
I'm not a candy guy.
Okay.
It's too
Just in
sweet.
general? Okay.
There's
There are people
straight up
that either
sugar.
like candy corn or think it's like the worst thing ever.
I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I've eaten some in my life, and I don't hate it.
Yep.
I just never would seek it out.
It was created as a tribute to corn, and the colors represent fall.
Yeah.
That
Do you love it or hate it?
I like it when it's in like a mixture.
Okay.
So like if it's
Like a
you know,
Chex Mixy kind of
thing,
thing, fall mix?
peanuts and different things. That's all right
'Cause you have
get
salt
the
to
salt and
balance
sweet
it,
thing
right.
in there. I like the pumpkin things, which I think are pretty much the same thing, just
It
shaped
is.
differently. They make 35 million pounds of this per year. By the way,
5 million.
that's a lot. So, but it's only available during this fall season. So
If you like it, stock up now so you can get through the year.
eat it all year long.
And my fifth and final one is that I want to point out that all bear markets, because we're in one right now,
Yep.
they come to an end. All bear markets come to an end, and it's worth remembering that the bottom is by definition the point where things feel collectively the worst.
Yep.
We don't know when that will be, but we do know that things are going to be better ahead, and the market will recover, and it will take time, but that will happen, and the best thing you can do, Josh would agree, is to stick to your financial plan and talk to your advisor if you have any questions, because this has been a rough year, and we want you guys to know that we are here for you.
Yeah. And that follows up with mine, which October 31st, National Savings Day.
Savings
Day. So they
Day.
created a day as an awareness
The only
campaign.
day you can save all year.
Yeah. It's to remind people, though, of the importance of it. So the idea of having a plan, setting goals, and purposely setting money aside to meet those goals. Now, I thought it was interesting. It's October 31st, heading into the Christmas shopping season, National
before
Savings
you
Day.
spend.
But either way, but it is important that you have a plan and you stick to it. And like you mentioned, in these bear markets and downturns, actually savings is enhanced because as you're investing that money that you're saving, you're buying more shares because the price is lower. So if I have $100 and it was $10 a share, I get 10 shares. But if $100 and it's $5 shares, I just bought twice as many shares. I got 20 shares.
That's right.
And so when the price recovers, I have more shares participating in the recovery. So savings is important even during a downturn. I'd say especially during a downturn.
Yep. Well, as Josh mentioned earlier, I'm Austin Wilson.
Josh Robb.
With Hixon Zuercher Capital Management, and we want to remind you that nothing we talked about today is a recommendation, but if you have any questions about your financial situation, feel free to give us a call at 419-425-2400 or email us at hello@theinvesteddads.com.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I would
Not
almost say-
hello@theinvesteddads.com.
You could message us there.
Hello at hzcapital.com, and we
Either
would
one.
love to get back to you on that.
I'd almost say owning Crocs is a recommendation. I'm almost that far.
Wow.
But no investment recommendation.
No investment recommendation because they are publicly traded.
Yeah, don't own the stock.
Don't
own a pair, and you'll be happy.
So until next month, have a great one.
All right.
Bye.
Josh Robb and Austin Wilson work for Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. All opinions expressed by Josh, Austin, or any guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Hixon Zuercher Capital Management may maintain positions in the securities discussed. There is no guarantee that the statements, opinions, or forecasts provided herein will prove to be correct. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Indices are not available for direct investment. Any investor who attempts to mimic the performance of an index would incur fees and expenses which would reduce returns. Securities investing involves risk, including the potential for loss of principal. There is no assurance that any investment plan or strategy will be successful.